If you're a Russian living abroad, or if you work with foreigners here in Russia, you will most likely hear the same questions over and over again. Why don't you smile? Can you code, as in hack? Do you work for the KGB? Are you a communist? Are you cold? How come you don't drink vodka? Are you a Putinist? Na zdrowie! Let's start with the easy stuff. Russians are never cold. How come you're cold? You're Russian. Well, that's exactly why I'm cold. Of course, some Russians swim in icy rivers in winter, but they're exceptions. We call them winter bathers, and they are extreme health geeks like ultramarathon runners. They prepare all year, take part in competitions, and monitor their condition closely before each dive. For the rest of us, whenever we're abroad, say in Europe, and it's not summer, we're freezing, missing Russia's central heating. One of the post-Soviet perks Russia currently enjoys is central heating. It means our flats are heated 24/7 in autumn and winter by the property management company in charge of the building that we live in. By law, the temperature inside residential buildings should be above 18 degrees centigrade. During autumn, winter, and parts of spring. But in reality, it's usually even above 25 degrees centigrade. So we parade in shorts and tees at home in winter. Unlike most of Europe, where people are used to wearing layers and layers and layers of clothes and woolies at home. Russians are rude. You never smile and you're just rude. True. The Russian common facial expression is that of a resting bitch face. We rarely bother with politesse. We might say that you're dim 5 minutes into the conversation after we just met, basically. And generally, we like to get down to business. But please know that we do so not out of hatred towards the whole world, including you, but on the contrary, we respect you, we love you, and we think that you deserve the best, the truth. As for smiling, we don't do polite smiles.
That's politics, baby.
We do sincere ones. Russians see smiling as an intimate sign of affection, and if we're showing you our whites, it means that you're worth it. But we don't smile at strangers, and our waiters don't flash smiles at customers either. So if someone smiles at us in the street, we'd probably check if everything's okay with our appearance. Russians love Putin and politics. You probably care about politics. Are you a Putin lover? Not again. To be or not to be, to love Putin or to hate him, every Russian you talk to will have an answer of his own to this question. It's true that Putin has his fan base. You can tell by the amounts of merchandise with his portrait that are being sold annually, or that photo, you know, where he's topless. He's also heavily criticized by many Russians, and you'll receive more than one eye roll from the politically indifferent, and there are a plenty here in Russia. So take my advice on this and ask Russians about Tolstoy, Solzhenitsyn, Eisenstein, or any other Russian name that you can think of. Russians drink a lot. Oh, you must drink a lot. Na zdrowie. We never say na zdrowie, ever. How can it be that even now, when we are all connected more than ever before, Hollywood still thinks na zdrowie is something that people actually say?
Na zdrowie! Na zdrowie!
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
If you're drinking with Russians, be ready to come up with a toast. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just a few sentences, but if it's sincere, you will be the star of the evening.
Еще по 150 шампанского и киса. За тебя.
Спасибо. Здрав будь, боярин.
Будьте здоровы.
Ваше здоровье.
But yeah, we overdo it on the drinking. Russia is the 4th most drinking country in the world, following Lithuania, Germany, and France. And according to the WHO, the average Russian drank some 11.7 litres of pure alcohol in 2016. But there's some good news as well. Again, according to WHO, they state that in the past 15 years, drinking in Russia dropped by a staggering 40%. Russians must be Slavic. Are you sure you're Russian? You have dark hair and you're not Slavic looking. This old myth is a popular one. Now, remember, Russia is one of the most nationally diverse countries in the world. There are 186 ethnic groups living in Russia, and they all have beautifully different faces. So some Siberians would look like Native Americans, for example, while people from the Caucasus might resemble Turks, and Russia's eastern population will have an Asian look. Their passports will have Russian as their nationality, but ethnicity-wise, they will not look Slavic at all. It's like we're all Russians, but if you go into detail, well, it's a whole different story. Fun fact! Why does everyone think that Russians only swear saying "suka blet" all the time? I know, gaming's to blame, but still, you know, obscene words are so abundant, rich and diverse in Russian that one would profit from a little education. All nouns transform into verbs and adjectives, creating these wonderful structures like "muda blatskaya pizda proёбина," or even form in time meaningful sentences like "хуйность хуярит хуистых хуят." Нахуя до хуя нахуярились хуйни?